This video was created during the 2023 WGA and SAG strikes. Without the labor of the writers and actors currently on strike, Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka wouldn't exist. Learn more about the strike at the link in the description. Sabine Wren has been heavily featured in a lot of trailer footage from the Ahsoka series. She seems like she'll be the co-lead of the show, so I wanted to make sure people who have never seen Star Wars Rebels or fans who simply want a refresher have that available. So here's what you need to know before the series starts. Sabine Wren was a Mandalorian. She was young when the Republic occupation of her homeworld turned into the Iron Fist of the Galactic Empire. She was sent to the Imperial Academy on Mandalore where, by her own admission, she followed orders blindly. She was artistic and creative, which helped her excel in the art of war and the creation of new weapons. She was challenged to create a weapon called the Duchess that would target Mandalorian armor, and she succeeded. But as soon as she realized the Empire planned to use it on her own people, she destroyed the weapon and its plans. Sabine spoke out against the Empire and the subjugation of Mandalore, but not even her family voiced any support of her. She fled Mandalorian space, leaving behind her mother, brother, and father, the latter of which was kept as a hostage in an Imperial prison. For a time, Sabine became a bounty hunter, but by the age of 16, she was recruited into a rebel cell on Lothal led by Hera Syndulla and Jedi-in-hiding Kanan Jarrus. They were stationed on Hera's ship, the Ghost, where they stole from the Empire to help those in need. Sabine painted a stylized starbird as a calling card wherever they struck. On Lothal, they met a young Force-sensitive orphan named Ezra, who also joined their crew. He trained in the ways of the Force with Kanan, and their adventures led to a run-in with Maul, a former Sith Lord who had briefly ruled Mandalore during the Clone Wars. Now living in the shadows, he still held a symbol of his former power, a Mandalorian lightsaber called the Darksaber. During a fight with Maul, Sabine was able to recover it on the planet Dathomir. Learning of its power as a symbol, Kanan trained Sabine to wield it so she could convince Mandalorians to join the growing Rebel Alliance. She confronted her personal demons and painful family past, learning to skillfully fight with the Darksaber. She brought it back to her family and convinced them to join her in the fight against the Empire and the Mandalorians that served as their super commandos. Sabine was forced to confront even more of her past when she learned the Empire had reconstructed the Duchess and could disintegrate anyone wearing Mandalorian armor, but she was able to lead an attack on the Mandalorian homeworld where she destroyed the weapon once again with the help of Bo-Katan, a former member of the Mandalorian royal family. Sabine offered the Darksaber to Bo and pledged loyalty to her new leader along with several other Mandalorian clans and houses. As the fight against the Empire continued, Sabine returned to her found family on the Ghost as they joined the Rebel Alliance on Yavin 4. She traveled back to Lothal on a mission against Grand Admiral Thrawn, who built factories there to construct a new starfighter called the TIE Defender. They were able to shut down the factories and even liberate the entire planet from the Empire's control, but Kanan died in the process, and Ezra transported himself and Thrawn to some unknown part of the galaxy to remove the Grand Admiral as a threat to the rebellion. Expecting a counterattack, Sabine remained on Lothal to protect Ezra's homeworld, but after the battles of Scarif and Yavin, the Empire never returned. Sabine's Starbird inspired the official insignia for the Rebel Alliance, and some pilots and officers wore her variant on their flight suits, helmets, and patches. In the Ahsoka series, we'll catch up with Sabine as she remains on Lothal until Ahsoka approaches her to begin searching for Ezra. Since Star Wars Rebels, we have learned a lot more about the aftermath of Rebels. For example, we have no idea how Sabine responded to the Empire's attack on Mandalore and the near extinction of her people, which was a direct result of the uprising she helped start. We also had no idea that she apparently received some training from Ahsoka. That's led people to wonder if Sabine is Force sensitive. I myself have been assuming she was simply continuing her combat training with Ahsoka, but more recent trailers and TV spots have started to change my mind. I think Ahsoka probably sees potential in Sabine because of her Darksaber training. In Star Wars Rebels, Hera asks Kanan if she is struggling because she doesn't have the Force, and Kanan corrects her, saying that the Force resides in all living beings, but you have to be open to it. So maybe we will see that journey in the show, Sabine learning to open herself to the Force. I always thought she was a perfectly capable fighter without the Force, but I think this could be an interesting chance to more fully dive into someone learning to harness those powers at an older age. We've seen that in movies with Luke and Rey, but a series could really take its time with that struggle, especially when the character and the audience are going to be constantly questioning it. But we'll have to wait and see. For now, that's everything I think you need to know about Sabine before the series begins. You can check out this playlist for even more explainer videos about Star Wars Rebels. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for all our Ahsoka coverage, follow us on our socials, and consider checking out our Patreon page, where we'll have video reactions and audio commentaries for every episode as they release. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.